just when he thought he was about to die. The man he wanted to escape, but saved him from danger. Now, the poisonous wrist in his body kept murmuring cold. So Cold Man rushed into the bathroom and dismissed all the maids. He knew that if he arrived a moment later, I'm afraid it's impossible to save the gods. Zun wanted to look at his stiff appearance and sigh. The poison in you is called falling into the well. You get cold all over, like falling into an ice cave. You can only infiltrate your body with hot medicine to force the poison out, otherwise you will die within a moment. Lord, how do you know this? Because I was poisoned when I was young. Royal bloodline. It's the norm. Those people are trying to get rid of their own thorns. You can think of any kind of vicious tricks. I didn't expect to attack you this time. Look back, when Roxy has fallen asleep in his arms. The next morning, also a gradually waking when Roxy, slowly open your eyes. I'm not dead, because you are tough. Can't die. Hearing the sound, Ruoli sat up with a whoosh. Why is Nini sitting here? When I think of the scene of bathing together last night, when Ruoli's whole person is about to crack open, shouldn't the man smile wickedly yesterday? You and I are husband and wife. Isn't this kind of thing normal? When Roxy's face turned red, I don't know how to refute. You've been sitting here all night. The man pretends to be aloof. I'm afraid you're taking the opportunity to escape. Relying on those scary people can't watch you at all. When Ruoli has some doubts, then why did you save me? You don't really like me, do you? Haha, how could I possibly like you? The reason why I saved you, it's because of Dongxing Kingdom. There are not a few people who have learned from the latest phase. Get promoted and make a fortune. You have to meet each other when you study and enter the room. Everyone judges by their appearance, and your ability to change your appearance naturally has a certain amount. Use when Ruoli's self-deprecating smile. He still thinks he is in this world. I finally met someone who cares about my life and death. The man looked up into the distance. You must have suffered a lot before. Since Aunt Chiao is willing to risk her life to come to the palace for help, then you should. There are places worth doing. When Ruoli only knew at this moment that he had misunderstood Aunt Chiao. It turned out that he didn't give up and recover from the disease. If the prince is patrolling medicine, coughing and telling you to be here, don't move. Good health. If this king has anything to do, he will come to you. What does he mean by when Ruoli won alliance? Use it gently for a while. You're not here to guess what he thinks. It's better to think about how you should repay this favor. Duen Ruoli walked around the room in distress. This body is too weak. I'm afraid that I will die before the favor is received. Therefore, he made himself a devil training plan. After all, I was a top-notch guide before. But yesterday I was almost KO by a few ponies. However, he was still exercising a second ago. The next second, he brought his guests to play poker. I didn't notice that someone had come to me at all. The current search requires one head and two big ones. Stop me. The princess is really restless. I told the whole palace that you have wine disease. One is to refuse foreign visitors. The second is to gag the curious mouths of the servants. But what are you doing now? Unexpectedly, the daughter-in-law suddenly sold the cute prince. This is playing cards. I designed it myself. I played for a while because it was too boring to wait for you. Next time I will teach you to complete it together. Under the double attack of cuteness and innocence, the prince has lost his temper in an instant. To repay him for saving his life, Wanjori said, I want to hold a beauty conference to help those who are troubled by their appearance. In this way, Wang Yining can receive it. A large number of celebrities become beautiful. That day's talent fair kung fu. Hundreds of civilians lined up. Whether it's a birthmark or a trauma, when Ruoli can easily cover it up and show the perfect appearance. It's just a poor little summer. Almost smoked from exhaustion. The green tea girl who heard the news on the other side was so angry. Obviously, he used the most powerful poison. But the other party is not only fine, but also flaunting on the street. So he sent someone to find the nameless. Those who the Empress wants to solve will naturally not survive. But when it's done, Empress, remember the price you promised me. When Ruoli is still busy at this time, suddenly felt a murderous aura, until a woman slowly walked in front of her. The moment he took off his mask, Wenruoli's heart tightened instantly. This man's face is fake. In the next second, several cases suddenly flew down from the sky, just as Wenruoxi hid under the table. Suddenly, a man in white appeared. Blocked all attacks for him. Is this the legendary White Horse King? Not Prince Charming. When Wenruoli leaned out, the strange woman has disappeared. At this moment, the mysterious man picked up the black sword by the side. This sword belongs to the Nameless. Wenruoxi trembled and picked up the mask on the ground. What is a nameless person? And who are you? You can look up and find that his finger is injured, but I didn't wait for him to ask a few more questions. Yes, convenience rode away from the scene. In the palace of the king, Wenruoli, who almost met again. The righteous heart retreats again and again. But the next second, he was caught by the dead. You are lucky today to save your life. Without the permission of this king in the future, don't leave the palace for half a step. The bandage on the man's finger at this time suddenly caught Wenruoli's attention. When did your hand hurt, your highness? A guilty man pretends to be stubborn, but none of your business. It's enough to directly abandon Wenruo. That being the case, your highness, can you leave? After saying that, he unceremoniously shut the man outside the door, but when he just got back into the house, I feel a cold breath behind me. Next second, a pair of pale hands slowly emerged from behind him. The wrist that was shrouded in horror went numb in an instant. How to expect? The other party actually held him in his arms without ceremony. Empress Jin and villain is an unknown person. Meet the Empress. Wenruoli panicked instantly. At this moment, he is not only unable to move. I can't even make a sound in my throat. What does this guy want?